I do want to share what the Wow Warrior Award is. The Wow Warrior Award came to be about 3 years ago, and it was developed to run alongside with Women's History Month. My thought was that, wow, we tend to highlight all the trailblazers that have gone before us, but a lot of times they are deceased. It's very hard for a woman who is trying to stand up and stand out and feel powerful and follow a great example when they're no longer here. And so my thought was, why aren't we honoring women who are crushing it right now, who are really doing the thing to get the thing, and who are standing up and standing out as that unrepeatable miracle? They know themselves, they know their worth, they're not requiring external validation for their self-worth. They know they have value in this world. And so that is actually what was sort of the thing that started the Wow Warrior platform, to explain wow. The word wow actually has two meanings in my world. It originally starts within the Stop Self-Bullying movement that I have been leading, which is war on words warrior, because we are always in the fight with these words that circulate in our head, many times leading into the negative. And so we want to always focus on working to manage those words in our head, because our words create our world. And as it evolved into the Wow Warrior platform, Wow, it stands for Woman of Worth. That Woman of Worth has actually managed to, most of the time, no one is perfect, but most of the time, manage that narrative up there. And they've also are secure in the knowledge that they are here to uplift and inspire other women to excel as much as they are excelling as themselves and being purpose driven themselves. This woman that you guys are going to see, each one of them has been through a lot of challenges, heartaches, tests, temporary defeats, so much more. And it isn't that they haven't been through some stuff, as I like to say. It's been that they've been through this stuff and they've risen like the powerful warrior that they are. And this is where I always like to say, I learned this from a speaker right before this all came to be, was that she asked the audience, do you know the difference between a soldier and a warrior? And I was like, I never thought about it. But a soldier is taught to fight and a warrior is born to fight. And that's how I knew that that word was, and I had already had that word attached to wow, but it took on a bigger meaning, because that language that we fight sometimes in our own head and sometimes that other people try to put on us externally, is that wow warrior understands that they have a choice in what goes on up here, but they are always in that fight for their worth. They know their worth. They are not confused about it at all. They know their value, and they navigate those self-bullying tendencies like a champion. The other thing that you will find about a wow warrior is that she has surrounded herself with others who will call them on it when she slips, as we will, because we are not perfect. But they have curated a network of powerful women who will say, what did you say about yourself? They will call you to the carpet for it. And they surround themselves with the strong women like you're going to see today. This is one of the reasons why I said, please connect with these women. They are far into that journey and they are able to have that hand to say, hey, wait, you know what? Let's talk about this. You need to know you control that narrative up here, but they'll call you on it. They'll be your best cheerleaders. Everyone in here is a cheerleader for one another. I've been watching it throughout the entire year. And as you listen to these 2024 honorees today, you're going to see a very common thread with these women. They're going to have all of these characteristics that I just talked about, and always there to uplift and inspire. And they know that that's part of why they're here, that that's part of their gift as a wow warrior. So without further ado, we are going to see a short video of all of the honorees. And as I said, not all of them were able to be here today. After that, we're going to bring our speakers up to the stage. So. Next, I'm going to share with you Jessica Koch, and she is a very passionate speaker, which I have heard her speak many times. She is a podcast host, and I have been fortunate enough to be on her podcast. And she is the most amazing podcast guest. So if you have one, she should be on your podcast. Absolutely. So, Jessica, I know you have an incredible story. So I'm going to let you just absolutely wow us, which I know you're going to.
The biggest wow is you'll have to play this recording slower because I have to go really fast because I only have 5 minutes. So are you guys ready? Hold on your seats, brace yourself. I am Jessica Koch. I am the Italian mother of 7, and I am the young hot nana of 8. Yes, count them 8. We have 8 grandbabies. One was born today, baby Bella. So we have a new baby in the house for the family. I love to kayak, paint, and sew and travel. I'm an international speaker, as she said. I have worked with hospitals, some of the largest power providers in the world, some of the Fortune 1000, on and on and on. I'm really great, is what the point is. I have a sales and marketing consulting firm. We do social media training. We have a virtual assistant membership program. Like she said, we have a podcast for 8 years. I was doing it before. It was cool, and everybody had one. And we reach about 50,000. So if you can inspire someone's personal life or help someone grow their business, then you totally should be on our show. Some main points for today are: I am passionate about helping people like you who have gifts and talents to transform other people's lives and businesses. We want to help you shine your light farther and faster than you can on your own. That is my gift. And one of the other things I love to say is working less and getting more done. That's one of my favorites. And that's something we help people do. And I believe that if you're not there, they can't find you. If you don't tell them, they cannot know. And if you don't schedule it, it won't happen. So to Carrie's point and to Dr. Young's point, we have to be our best promoter. And Wendy's point for branding, we have to be our biggest owned cheerleader in a tactful way. Now, the big point for today is organized, not just collaboration, but organized collaboration changes the world. So my youngest daughter is 13 now, but when she was little, until like 2nd or 3rd grade, we homeschool her. And she's at a great Montessori school now. But when we were homeschooling her, we were a part of this amazing co-op. And so it was a really large co-op. Lots of families came together, and the parents, all from pre-K to high school, we all taught different subjects and organized this process so that our kids, collaboratively, right, could learn more and succeed faster. I had art, so, painting, sewing. I had the art, so I was supposed to organize the lessons and present them to the board. And I brought, and I had to make sure it worked with all the ages. And so at this one point, I brought the board an idea that was going to cost them a bit more in supplies for one of our lessons. Well, like double the normal budget, okay? But I really believed that it was so going to be worth it. So we created a scarf. It was warm and soft and made of beautiful fleece. And it had this really cool interlocking pattern that required no sewing. So all the ages could do it. Thank you, Pinterest, just saying. So it was a fantastic scarf. And it was really great because all 80 children were able to make not one, but 2 scarves, right? And I'll never forget being in the parking lot near the sidewalk, loading my car up. And that moment, there was a father going to pick up his son. And I'm not going to be able to tell this story without squeezing my cheeks. That's the secret, so you don't cry. Squeeze your cheeks, and I won't tell you which cheeks you're squeezing. He said, well, hey, where'd you get the scarf? And the little boy, kindergartner, and he put his face up to his father and said, I made it. I made this scarf. And he said, and it keeps me warm, and it's soft. And he said, but I made another one too for a kid just like me that lives far away, and now he'll be warm too. And the father knelt down and he hugged his son. He said, wow, that is so great, and I'm so proud of you. So we really can change the world, right? These scarves were mailed through a shoebox program with a note from the child that made it, that told that child receiving it how important they were and that they're not alone. So 80 kids learn to make a difference and that they could make a difference and that they were important. And what if, I know I'm almost done, and what if 80 co-ops from all over the world did that? And 80 kids from each of those co-ops did that. That would be 6,400 gifts, 12,800 scarves. There'd be so many communities and lives. Win, win, win. That's the power of collaboration. What I'm inviting you to do is come and collaborate with us. Get on our podcast and join our new weekly, it's collaboration event, collaboration results event. And it's happening every week where we can help grow your community so much farther than you could ever imagine. Thanks.
I just love you. I know you already know that, but like that, you guys see, like this has just like been my world. This is why this platform is such a joy for me. I think maybe I did it for myself. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But like because I get to be surrounded by such incredible women, like who are making a difference. Because this isn't about, she said nothing about what she was doing for herself. And I think that is also something that you're going to see. This is, you're seeing women who serve and serve in so many different ways and encourage other people to serve. These are all giver hearted women. And it's such an honor to be surrounded by you, Jessica, and seeing the work that you're doing. But why not? You know, if you haven't connected with Jessica, please do get in on that collaborative thing. See how you can make a difference. So that people, you know, when they look at you too, they say, wow, just like we say, wow, when we look at Jessica and all of the previous speakers so far. Woo, I'm gonna say just like a big giant, like, wow, right now. Like that's how I feel. I'm gonna ask just real quick. I don't know if I heard you say it. Jessica, what's the name of your podcast again?
It's called Profound Professionals, and the link to get registered is on in the chat. But my website is jessicalkoch.com. So Jessica L and then KOCH.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm not sure if Wendy can put the QR code in the chat. If not, we'll get that to you, Dr. Inga, for that, for her. She had two freebies that she offered. Jessica, I didn't ask that if you had something that you wanted to offer.
I do have a free sales prospecting training video that I'm always happy to share, and you just go to my website and grab it.
Okay.
So that's there, and I put a couple of
JessicaLKoch.com. Don't
I put
forget
a
to go.
couple of free gifts in the chat, so hopefully those will be on my site too. So if you can't see them and you're watching the recording, that'll be there.
So does L stand for love? Just
Sure, I'd like it better than my middle name. It's Lynn. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that for all people named Lynn out there. It's just Jessica Lynn Koch. I don't know. Lynn seemed not as interesting as me. I'm just not very Lynnish for myself. I don't know. I've
I
insulted
love that.
someone.
I'm
I'm
like, okay,
sorry.
well, I'll say Lynn, love, whatever, you know, there you go. So awesome. Thank you so, so much for that, Jessica.